The driver of a milk truck had broken down in front of the orphanage, and he could not make his deliveries. He asked if Mueller could use the milk so that it would not be wasted. Not long afterwards, a baker knocked at the door and asked if they could use bread. This is but one example of how Mueller relied on God to meet all the needs of the orphanages. Every need Mueller had was met the same way. He prayed, and God provided. Now, you might not run an orphanage and rely on God for all its necessities as Mueller did, but what if every time you had a need, you could pray and trust God to meet that need just as He did? That would be great, but it would never happen to me. I'm just an ordinary person, not a super person. Neither was George Mueller. He was an ordinary person just like you and me, but he had a relationship with an extraordinary God. The same God who answered Mueller's prayers wants to do the same for you. Everything that was available to Mueller is available to every Christian. You only need to know how to tap into God's resources. Each chapter of this book contains information that will help you on your journey. By the time you finish reading, you'll know how to have a relationship with Christ that is just as dynamic as George Mueller's. The quality of your existence on earth depends upon which road of life you choose to travel. The majority of people choose the broad road. Jesus spoke of this when He said, "Wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it." Matthew 7:13. The final destination of this road is eternal separation from God. The alternative is the narrow road that leads to everlasting life. Narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it. Matthew 7:14. In this chapter, we'll examine both highways to see the quality of life they bring and the end result of each. Come with me as we start our journey on the world's broad highway. As we enter this thoroughfare, we find the path is well traveled. People are bumping into each other as they compete for recognition and power. All who trek this road generally love money and the things it can buy. Many have expensive cars, nice homes, and big screen TVs. Whether they have little or a lot, they're occupied with thoughts of cash and how to get a little more of it. The main focus of their lives is acquiring more stuff. Jesus said, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Matthew 6:21. But wait! There's a steep curve up ahead that they didn't see coming. Suddenly, their blissful lifestyle comes to a crashing halt. This unexpected hurdle could have many causes: the loss of a job, a painful divorce, or the death of a child. Suddenly, their life has fallen apart. This wasn't supposed to happen on the highway to success. They're devastated and groping in the darkness, but there's nothing to hold on to. Their money and a nice home are no comfort in a time of crisis. Eventually, they recover and continue on their journey. They're still on their pursuit of money and things, but as we examine their lives closely, we find that their existence seems empty. There's a longing that money can't buy. They try other things of the world, but all those pleasures are short-lived. That unexplained longing simply cannot be satisfied. Years pass, and suddenly they've reached the end of their destination. Their life is over, and now perhaps they'll find peace. Or so they think. A few seconds after they die, they realize that they've been on the wrong road all along. Suddenly, terror sweeps over them. They realize that Jesus Christ really is the Son of God, that the Bible is true, and that they're on their way to everlasting torment. They've wasted their lives in pursuit of money and pleasures, but suddenly their possessions are gone. Their soul lives for eternity, but no matter how much wealth they accumulated on earth, they have nothing to take with them. As Jesus said, "What profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul?" Matthew 16:26. They've neglected their spiritual life, which now they realize is more valuable than gold, and they focused all their time and energy on things that will burn up. What a waste! They stand trembling before Jesus Christ at the white throne judgment. All their wealth on earth does them no good.